Welcome to the Gruber Morning Show. This is the Artificial Future podcast that we do every Wednesday at 10 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. Today's theme is going to be robo-lawyers, and the guy standing behind me is a robot in an exquisitely tailored Italian suit. And I think AI did a pretty good job with this one, except for all of the jury members behind him, or maybe people in the audience. I'm not sure what it was trying to do there. But in a bit, we'll talk about how attorneys could potentially be replaced by machines, and it looks like they're doing a better job of it. So we'll see how that plays out. We've got an image to pop up here. It's a meme. It's called robot coding. And one of the things I wanted to open up with was the fact that coding is done by robots these days or by software, AI software, using a lighthearted, cartoonish style to convey the idea that AI tools are becoming capable of automating software and engineering tasks. Was it you or Mark that was telling me just last week there was some AI again proved that coding can be done by AI. Oh, I know what it was. We were talking about the log files for the Tesla Roadster.
Yeah, just yesterday, you mean?
Yeah. And we're going to begin to utilize artificial intelligence to decrypt the log information that is recorded continuously on a Tesla Roadster. We have a parsing program we've been using for years that will decode what it's been logging, and we're going to see how AI does with that, and train the large language model on not only the diagnosis but also the solution, so that we get results well beyond what we used to get with just log file decryption. All right, so here's an interesting headline: Construction workers in space. NASA apparently is developing a hardware and software system that uses different types of robots that can automatically assemble, repair, and reconfigure structural materials for a variety of large-scale hardware systems in space. Now, why is this important? It seems kind of inefficient. Well, they say future long duration and deep space exploration missions to the moon, Mars, or even other planets will require a way to build large-scale infrastructure, such as solar power stations, communications towers, and habitats for the people or the crew. To sustain a long-term presence in deep space, NASA needs the capability to construct and maintain these systems in place rather than sending large pre-assembled hardware from Earth. You know how expensive it is to get anything into outer space. So building it there makes a whole lot more sense. And using robots to do this seems to make a whole lot more sense than humans, which need spacesuits and can't work in those harsh environments without some protection. So it looks like construction workers are going to become robots, or robots
Is this
are going
what
to
you're
enter.
talking about?
Yeah, there you go. It was from Freethink. Yeah.
This is 30,000 times speed, but
Yeah. And it looks like they're using geodesic technology or structures to build. So we'll see how that plays out. All right, here's another headline: Elon Musk AI Singularity Roundtable. Apparently, Greg Brockman and Elon were part of a roundtable, and Max Tegmark, MIT researcher Benjamin. Max Tegmark. Okay, he was the MIT researcher. The concept of AI singularity, first of all, refers to a hypothetical point in the future when artificial intelligence, AI, becomes so advanced and autonomous that it surpasses human intelligence and becomes self-improving at an accelerating rate. Now, I don't like the word hypothetical. A lot of us are suspecting that it may have already reached that, but let's stay with hypothetical for this discussion. So it seems probable that once the machine thinking method had started, it would not take too long to outstrip our feeble powers. They would be able to converse with each other, the machines, and sharpen their wits. At some stage, therefore, we should have to expect that the machines will be able to take control. And that's according to Alan Turing, by the way. Another one by Andrew Ng says, we have seen AI providing conversation and comfort to the lonely. We have seen AI engaging in racial discrimination. Yes, the biggest harm that AI is likely to do to individuals in the short term, though, is job displacement. The amount of work that we can automate with AI is vastly larger than before. As leaders, it is incumbent on all of us to make sure we are building a world in which every individual has an opportunity to thrive. And that's according to Andrew Ng. I don't know how to pronounce that last name. It's just two consonants. All right. Any questions? I'm seeing myself on both screens up there. Not yet?
No questions.
Okay. So Microsoft AI discovers 18 new battery materials in 2 weeks. We all are anxiously waiting for innovation to accelerate at an exponential rate as AI begins to infiltrate and do what humans used to do. So using AI and cloud computing, Microsoft was able to identify promising new battery materials for the Department of Energy in a fraction of the time it would normally take. Now, batteries, of course, are an essential part of clean energy futures. We need them to power electric vehicles and to store energy from solar and the wind. Currently, however, lithium-ion batteries are the best option for both of these uses, but they aren't ideal. Because lithium is relatively scarce, it's also expensive, and the metal is often unethically mined using child labor and environmentally destructive processes. We talked about that briefly in the podcast yesterday. The brine ponds in Bolivia, for example, that are extracting lithium. Hundreds of acres, thousands of acres of ponds that will probably end up with land that is no longer suitable for agriculture because of its toxicity after the brine has been rendered and the lithium has been extracted. So something that normally would take years, they did in 2 weeks. And it was, again, AI that was able to facilitate this. All right. OpenAI's Sora. Do you remember we had a video a few weeks ago showing that prompts now can be used to generate videos, not just text, but entire videos. And Sora, S-O-R-A, is the text-to-video generator that will be publicly available later this year. And this is according to Mira Murati, who is the CTO of OpenAI. In an interview with the Wall Street Journal, she said that it will be available this year, and it could be as briefly as a few months. The Sora concept and program, of course, is the creation of videos that are so compelling that they're Hollywood-grade quality. And we talked about a producer in the Southeast. You guys remember his name? I can't off the top of my head remember.
Tyler Perry?
Tyler Perry.
I think he had that, I think it's in Atlanta or something. He had a big project going to...
Studio project?
Studio,
Or
yeah.
studio expansion, yeah.
Almost $1 billion had been invested in the studio construction.
It had been planned. He canceled an $800 million plan. It wasn't invested yet.
Okay.
Yeah, it was right after he saw the Sora example.
That's what triggered it.
Trial.
Yeah, this was like a 3-year plan to invest and build out 36 more sound stages and a whole bunch of other stuff, and it all got canceled.
Sounds like the investors bailed after they saw the AI capability and realized that what they were building was archaic and would be replaced soon. Well, anyway, according to Mira Murati, Turkish name, by the way, I believe, she mentions a plan to include audio in Sora eventually. Those video samples that most of us saw that really woke us up to the fact that AI can be used to create videos do not have any audio yet. But she says that the audio is coming soon, and it will enhance the realism of the generated scenes. OpenAI also aims to enable users to edit the content generated by Sora, recognizing that AI tools may not always produce accurate images. We know that well. The six-finger thing has become pretty common. And of course, text. It doesn't do very well with that yet. She also expressed the company's goal of utilizing this technology as a creative tool. Now, she said that that Sora is much more expensive to power. Oh, it's more powerful. That would make sense. They are trying to make the tool available at similar costs to DALL-E or ChatGPT. You can explore, they say, more examples of the kinds of videos this tool can produce in the journal's report, the Wall Street Journal, including an animated bull in a china shop and a mermaid smartphone reviewer. So here's an additional article, and it goes along with this Sora article. By the way, Van Gogh has joined us. Is AI part of Gruber? Yes, very much so. We began to dabble with it, of course, at the spring of last year, and began to realize its potential in business. And it took a while to get everybody warmed up to it, but we began by going around to each of the managers initially, and then some of the staff members, and showing them what ChatGPT can do for them. And we have a number of functions here. We have technical functions. We have a service division, Gruber Motor Company. We've got 2 call centers, power services, and communication products. And a variety of tasks that require communication with customers, vendors, all of that. And what we showed them was if you take what you normally generate as an email and run that through ChatGPT 4 or even 3.5 for that matter, you will end up with a product that is superior to what you had originally envisioned or created. Well, these days, it spread like wildfire through our organization. And we're using AI in a variety of ways, not just to provide more compelling, articulate communication, but our technicians and mechanics over at Gruber Motor Company are using it to diagnose. What we ended up doing after Elon open sourced all of the Tesla Roadster information, and this was months ago, last year, we fed all of that into a large language model, trained it basically on all this information, then brought in our information, our knowledge base that we had been collecting for many years on how to service Teslas, combined those two, and today our mechanics and technicians are utilizing a Roadster GPT and have developed now a Model S GPT in addition to that, which is now becoming an invaluable tool. The customer benefits in a number of ways, but the primary one is the distance between identifying a problem, diagnosis, and fix has become tremendously smaller or shorter because AI tells them what's wrong with it based on a number of, a large data set, basically. So that original question, are we using AI? Is it part of Gruber? Absolutely. Seth Love says, morning from California. Yes, thanks for joining us. So staying now with Sora, S-O-R-A, for those of you interested. There's some compelling videos out there that you can watch, and they're indistinguishable from high-quality CGI Hollywood productions. No audio yet, though. The headline here says, OpenAI says Sora will launch in 2024, all right, and nude videos aren't off the table. Well, I think we were all wondering, with AI's ability to generate compelling and realistic images, eventually it's going to migrate into adult content. So here's what they say about this. OpenAI's premier text-to-video generators, Sora, is coming in 2024, and the company is not ruling out AI-generated adult content. Sora creates hyper-realistic AI video and definitely going to be released this year, according to CTO Mira Murati in an interview again with the Wall Street Journal. She says, however, when they asked her about adult content, she said they're working with creators to determine the next steps. She didn't define who the creators were, but we're probably assuming that these are going to be porn site operators or creators. She says you can imagine that there are creative settings in which artists might want to have more control over that. Right now, we're working with artists and creators from different fields to figure out what's useful and what level of flexibility the tool should provide. Now, it's dropping some of the guardrails that are in place now. Early use of AI image generators shed light on how the technology can be dangerous. Here's the disclaimer now, especially when used to create deepfake porn. Now, here's a sobering statistic. AI-generated deepfakes of Taylor Swift in pornographic situations went viral in January of this year. Just last week, Florida middle schoolers were arrested for allegedly creating AI deepfake nudes of their classmates. This is according to Wired magazine. Can you imagine
middle schoolers?
Middle schoolers, yes.
Oh my gosh.
Good grief.
What's this world coming to? At the same time, they say AI-generated nude videos as realistic as Sora could revolutionize the porn industry. There's a reason that OpenAI is not ruling it out completely, despite how much chaos nude AI image generators created. Porn is a $97 billion industry per year.
So what you're saying is our government needs to tax the porn industry instead of other places.
Wouldn't that be great? Yeah, it's kind of like taxing things that that not everybody avails themselves of. But anyway,
it's just funny because everybody's complaining about the economy and stuff, but that industry is still thriving pretty darn well.
Oh, totally, yes. And AI video generation, they say, could address issues around sex trafficking and abuse. They don't elaborate how that could be affected or changed. They say it's unclear if creators from different fields include adult film stars, but those are certainly the creators with the most expertise in nude videos. Well, now here's another profession that may go by the wayside with AI. Why would you need, adult film stars? We're going to talk later about the migration and quality of what AI generates. Like that website, these people are not real, but they look very real. All right, so they go on. OpenAI's Sora team is working on video editing, according to Murati, which could be a game changer for using Sora as a real tool for filmmakers, and not just porn at this point. We're talking about entertainment, films, videos, movies. Sora will have sound, but not in the first version, and that's something OpenAI will innovate on in the future. And of course, that's not going to be hard to do if you think about how much sound-generated AI is available already. Later in this podcast, we're going to talk about a music-generating AI package that could potentially put musicians out of business as well. Sora was trained, they say. Now, here's an interesting side note. Sora was trained on photos from Shutterstock. Shutterstock is one of those image repositories where if you use an image, you get to pay for it. Building on OpenAI's partnership with the photo library, all right? But Murati confirmed alongside publicly available data and other licensed data. OpenAI declined to get into specifics about Sora's training data, though the company says it's possible that public Instagram and Facebook videos were used. So there you have it. Wasn't somebody here just saying something about a misuse? I think it was Apple. No?
Apple? Misuse of what?
Misuse of content. I think that had to do with their cell phone.
Oh, no, that's... that's Google just got hit because in France they're getting $270 million fine because they're using public data news organization data to train Gemini in France.
Gotcha. Bob Lukens chiming in. He's saying, hello from South Dakota and thank you for your podcast. Well, thanks for joining us. So robo-lawyers is the theme of this podcast. Yes.
Real quick, for anybody on Instagram, for some reason I've signed out, signed back in, tried a couple times. I'm not seeing the comment feed from Instagram, so we're kind of missing out on the comments there. You guys can always come over to YouTube
yeah.
or TikTok or Facebook or Twitter, any of those.
You know what? I noticed the comments this morning on all our reels were at 0. So I just figured it was a glitch in the
Okay,
reels.
there's
So
something
it must be going on with the lives too. I thought it was just the reels, but
Yeah, because I'm on my cell phone. I put a comment in just as a test too, and it didn't come through, and I don't see anything on my cell phone even. So I think the comment section is just down over there.
It's broken. Okay. One of these days, we're going to get our green screen capability working for Instagram as well. We thought we had it there a couple of months ago or so, but
Yeah,
not
we
quite.
have it. We just can't get the aspect ratio right for the phone screen
Gotcha.
because we're shooting in wide format. So we're working on that.
Okay. So here's a headline. Robo-lawyers are as good as humans, say researchers. Quicker, cheaper, and almost as accurate as humans, robo-lawyers are set to disrupt the legal industry. I have to chuckle here because we have billboards with attorneys, the ambulance chasers, basically. If those of you interested, we've got a funny, humorous rant out on our YouTube channel about attorneys and what they've devolved